all of the other reindeer, you'll go down in history. Yeah, baby! Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Can you believe it? We're near the end of the 25 days of holiday movie watch. Plus 26 if you count It's a Wonderful Life. Coming soon. But aside from that, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm actually gonna be covering a holiday special that I haven't seen in such a long time called All of the Other Reindeer. Okay. I'll stop singing my own variation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer before this review gets a copyright strike. Now, I assumed that you guys might have heard about this special before, whether you saw it on TV a couple of times, or own a copy of it on VHS and DVD like I have. But just in case you guys never even heard of this special before, which to be fair, I really wouldn't blame you, in this delightfully funny animated adventure, All of the Other Reindeer, it's really a kind-hearted dog who sets out to save Christmas when she hears that Blitzen is injured and Santa can't find a replacement. Holy holiday pickle juice, Batman! With the help of a smooth-talking pinguini named Martini, which sounds like the name of this is probably some kind of Italian name. Olive heads for the North Pole to join a flying reindeer team. But along the way, they must defeat an evil mailman who wants to end Christmas so he can carry less mail. Oh boy. With an all-star voice cast of Drew Barrymore, Ed Asner, if I'm saying that right, Dan Castellaneta, and Peter McNichol, All of the Other Reindeer is sure to become a holiday tradition for young and old. Okay, not gonna lie, it's felt like forever since I've seen this special. And no, this technically doesn't count as a revisit edition review. Just thought I'd point that out in case you guys assume that it is. But anyways, yeah, it is true that I haven't seen this special in a long time. I think the last time I saw this was on Cartoon Network a few years back. But after rewatching it again for the very first time, I honestly find it to be a very interesting holiday special. It does have a nice plot with a beginning, middle, and end. The animation might not be spot on perfect, but hey, I'm not gonna make a big deal over it. I do like the new holiday-related music in this movie. And I like how the title of the movie is somewhat a spoof on part of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer song. No, instead of All of the Other Reindeer, it's Olive. That's a little bit of a nice little spoof on the classic, on part of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer song. Yeah, speaking of which, we actually do get a little bit of a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer reference. When Olive says, "Hey, where's Rudolph?" Only for one of the reindeers to answer by saying, "That's an urban myth." I guess in this movie's universe, there's no such thing as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I'm not sure if this special sort of retcons the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer franchise or not. Okay, maybe to you guys it probably doesn't, but I'm just saying. I do like how Olive is being friends with a smart aleck con artist penguin who does end up becoming quite helpful in the special. So I guess he went from a con artist bird to Olive's little bird helper, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, how many animated penguins do you know that they are con artists? Probably not, because he's probably the only one. You know, something about the Mailman is really something. I mean, he's like your typical Ebenezer Scrooge, but he really doesn't seem to redeem himself. Because his goal is to ruin Christmas so that Santa won't be able to deliver presents to all the boys and girls in the world. Guess he was always a grouch. And you know, I'm guessing you guys already noticed that how the mailman looks on the VHS cover of this movie. And yeah, he does look a little bit weird looking. I mean, for some reason he almost looks like he has a bird beak for a mouth. And something about the white stuff in his face makes it look like he's a ghost. And yeah, I know he doesn't look like that in the actual movie, but still. But yeah, something about the mailman being sinister and trying to ruin Christmas is quite diabolical. Yeah, he actually wrote a bunch of phony letters that says a lot of hurtful things about Santa. Jeez. And Santa Claus himself almost thought it was the actual kids who wrote those letters. Boy, talk about trying to frame some innocent kids you don't even know. Yikes. Thank goodness Olive was here to straighten this whole thing out, and the mailman managed to get good karma. I guess we know that he's still getting a heapo pile of coal again. Oh boy. And believe it or not, this special is actually, you might not believe this, but the guy who worked on this movies is actually did a good job. And his name is Matt Groening. Now, if that name sounds familiar, you might know him as the creator of The Simpsons and Futurama. Which I will admit, that's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool that he got a chance to work on this holiday special. I will admit it is a bit rare for him to work on some family-friendly projects. Which to Matt Groening's credit, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I mean, he is allowed to do something a little bit different with his career. I mean, to be fair, he actually did a good job. Since he did get a chance to work with Dan Castellaneta again, who not only voiced the mailman in his holiday special, but you guys might know him better as the actual voice of Homer Simpson himself from The Simpsons. Which I'm guessing that's like Dan Castellaneta's most famous role. Yeah, I think that's what most people would recognize him from. I bet whenever Dan Castellaneta or Matt Groening's at some kind of comic book convention, I bet some of their fans might have asked them about all of the other reindeer and what it was like to work on this movie in their own words. And you know, if I ever got a chance to meet one of them at GalaxyCon at some point, I might be able to ask one of them what it was like to work on all of the other reindeer. I mean, I know I would have to wait a long time for that to happen, but hey, you never know. Sometimes anything can be possible. And that's okay by me. So, and you know, it probably would have been a bit funnier if there were some references to either The Simpsons or Futurama. I mean, yeah, I know there's a slim chance for a holiday movie like all of the other Reindeer to reference either The Simpsons or Futurama, but sometimes you never know what to expect, you know? So overall, I think all of the other Reindeer is still a nice holiday movie for everyone to enjoy. And yeah, I will admit that the animation does look a little bit odd looking, mainly for all the human characters. But you know what, I'll forgive the cast and crew behind this movie on the animation, because despite how weird the animation looks, we can still have a good time with this holiday special every year. Does have some decent animation, great story, great songs, wonderful characters, and all the cast members did their best with what they were given, especially with some of the recognizable ones. So, do you guys have any fond memories of all of the other Reindeer? Just let me know down in the comments below. And I'll give this movie 5 Christmas dog houses out of 5. So thank you guys for watching, and have a great Christmas!